Hello. Happy time zone to Lay, Gentle, Viv, Nim, Neppy, B, and whoever else may be viewing at the moment. If you're lurking, if you're just in the ads, because that happens. The ads come and get you. How is everyone doing today? And I wonder if there are any significant astrological events happening. I do know that the full moon is the start of next week, so if anyone wants to plan anything for the full moon, that'll be a good time for it. Snow moon. Sounds very interesting. I don't actually know about moon designations, labels. So if anyone wants to info dump about that, feel free to go ahead. Imbolc. I think it's actually Samhain for Southern Hemisphere soon. I remember one of my friends, she was talking about how it's New Year and then there's the Chinese New Year and then the Samhain for us, so a lot of stuff going on. Snow moon 30 degrees Celsius, so real. The larger astrological picture is a bit quiet until mid-February. That's nice. Alright, well, I will do my opening Orphic hymn to Hermes as we begin the stream and dedicate this time to him, the messenger of the gods. Hear me, Hermes, messenger of Zeus, son of Maia, almighty in heart, lord of the deceased, judge of contests, gentle and clever, O Argifontes. You are the guide of the flying sandals, a man-loving prophet to mortals, a vigorous god you delight in exercise and in deceit. Interpreter of all you are, and a profiteer who frees us of cares, who holds in his hands the blameless tool of peace. Lord of Kodikos, blessed, helpful, and skilled in words, you assist in work, and you are a friend of mortals in need. You wield the dreaded, the respected weapon of speech. Hear my prayer and grant a good end to a life of industry, gracious talk, and mindfulness. I didn't know that, Gentle. That's an interesting piece of lore I have never read. Alright, and we can choose a second hymn to do. Anyone have a suggestion? Otherwise, I will make a choice. Demeter. Or we can do one for Eleusinian Demeter, 35. Yeah, I need someone to keep track of what we've done. Let's do Eleusinian Demeter. Deo, divine mother of all, goddess of many names, revered Demeter, nurturer of youths, giver of prosperity and wealth, you nourish the ears of corn, O giver of all, you delight in peace and in toilsome labour. Present at sowing, heaping, and threshing, a spirit of the unripe fruit you dwell, in the sacred valley of Eleusis. Charming and lovely, you give sustenance to all mortals. You were the first to yoke the ploughing ox. The first to send up from below a lovely harvest for mortals. You are growth and blooming, O illustrious companion of Bromios, torch-bearing and pure. You delight in the summer's yield. From beneath the earth you appear, gentle to all. A holy and youth-nurturing lover of children and of fair offspring, you yoke your chariot to bridled dragons. Round your throne you whirl and howl in ecstasy. You are an only daughter, but you have many children and many powers over mortals. The variety of flowers reflect your myriad faces and your sacred blossoms. Come, O blessed and pure one, come with the fruits of summer. Bring peace, bring the welcome rule of law, bring riches too and prosperity, and bring health that governs all. Wow, that is a cool hymn. Viv is currently looking at many of Veronese statues. No, they don't ship many Hecate to you. That's so sad. I'm very sorry. Alright, Gentle, do you want to put your request for your reading in the chat? I'm going to do a few housekeeping plugs and the usual, my friends. Message from Hecate, I hear you. Let's do that. So I wanted to present the latest discount for my Ko-fi, for my lovely viewers and friends over here. So you can use that link and code for 15% off my services. That's any of my services for Ko-fi. And you can get different readings with deities. I have special ones for Hecate and Bast. I have a cool one called Bridging the Divine, which is about channeling a visualization from your deity. And I recently released a super cool offer. It's called The Messenger. It's a live 30-minute session where it's basically like this, where I'm on video with you only, and you get to ask as many questions as you can fit in that 30 minutes. So there's not a limit on cards except for what the deity would like or spirit would like, you know, like these ones where they tell me how many cards they want, or I get a feeling for it. And you know, if we happen to be in the middle of a reading at the 30-minute mark, I'm not going to cut you off. We're going to keep going. And I think it would just be a fun time because it's like this, except it's private, so you can ask things that you wouldn't ask on stream. And, you know, I'm kind of trying to branch out a little bit, doing live sessions, because a lot of my readings are written, which I do like because it means you guys get to keep the reading on paper and you get to look back on it. And it means I can complete it, you know, anytime. But these sessions are something I want to try out as well. So if you do have the means and you're interested, then feel free to hop on that, especially with the discounts. Use my discount link. And yeah, that's my pitch for my lovely services. Now, for any people in the chat who are god spouses or those under similar umbrella terms, that's like devotional, familial, romantic, etc. I do have my Divine Bonds package, which comes with a channeled letter, a channeled visualization, a guidance reading, and a song chosen by the deity or spirit of choice. So that's a cool one too. That's my favorite one to do. So you can do that one too. But yeah, that's my cool plugs of my services. And B, I appreciate you saying that you're saving up money to book a reading from me and Elle. For anyone who's interested in Elle's services, you can do !L, so EL, just the 2 letters. And that's my, it will pop up in chat, my little spiel of Elle's lovely services, who I wish to support as well. We do have, I do think we have slightly different skill sets. They are more experienced than I am, if that's of interest to you. And if you have any questions about either my services or their services, let me know. Anyway. Let's get into Gentle's message from Hecate. And remember, folks, you can claim your viewer rewards. We had a few people do Ask Me Anything last time, which was fun. So that's a good way to spend your little bubbles. Okay, lot of swords going on. Even the... Oh, wait, no. I was going to say the Emperor has a sword, but it's not really a sword. It's more of a cane that he's holding. Dang. Those cards dropped down. I'll take this. Oh, I thought there was one, but it was two. There we go. We can keep those two. Alright, Gentle. So your cards for today include the Ten of Swords, the Seven of Swords, the Emperor. We also have Hierospire, Sacred Fire, Unity. And we have Clothay, Spinner of Fate, Destiny, which is a very cool card. I love the art on this one. It's very powerful. So it sounds to me that you are coming out of a period where you felt a bit run down, a bit burnt out maybe, and a little bit stuck to the ground, you could say. I wouldn't say rock bottom, but it can feel that way. Because I don't say rock bottom because the Ten of Swords card, while it's quite sad and it can be a bit daunting to get, the card is also associated with an end of a cycle, coming to the end of something, a period of your life, where you can then enter a new cycle. So starting again from the Ace of Swords, or perhaps even choosing intentionally to start again in a different suit. When I say suit, it represents different areas or focuses of life that you might prioritize or want to sort of place your efforts and energy. So I see this as you coming out of that time, of this Ten of Swords, and reaching a new place. It's a bit of a gradual change because we have the Seven of Swords here. So you may not necessarily be going from 100 to 0 straight away, and perhaps that's not right for you at the moment. Maybe that's not something that you need. And Hecate is very good at bringing us on pathways that we don't realize we need, or we don't realize what the meaning of it is until we get further along. And sometimes we can, get feelings of or feel confusion out of these things. But confusion is often associated with these transitions and changes. And you don't have to remain in confusion, and you don't have to stay there. You can gain clarity. But it's to sort of normalize the idea, aka not make you feel like you're excluded from some sort of secret that helps other people get through these things, because everyone experiences these sort of feelings and experiences that come with change and come with, moving away from this and rising up once again. Seven of Swords, I think, is quite significant as well in what it's communicating, because we have this man here who has dropped a couple swords, and he's also got a few swords bundled up and he's walking away. And I think about the Six of Swords as well in this card, because the Six of Swords is about moving to a new place and transitioning as well, but more deliberately placing only what you need into the boat as you move forward. Whereas the Seven of Swords is a little bit more than that. He takes a little more than he needs, and perhaps is even taking some of the swords that caused him this in the first place. But it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can represent how you are determining what is valuable to you and determining what's important to you, and you're not wanting to just strip everything away. You're wanting to wrap things up and bundle things up in a way that helps you carry what used to be heavier and more difficult, and also at the same time be open to dropping more things as you may need to, or separating from things that no longer serve you. So I see a very intentional push in the right direction for your pathway, rather than just letting things go willy-nilly. You're taking action. Which aligns with the Emperor card about authority and control and structure. You're finding that for yourself, picking yourself up back off your feet, rather than just letting yourself be taken by the waves of whatever it is that is happening for you. I see these two cards being a combined message where Hecate is saying, don't go alone, don't let yourself become isolated, because your future, your destiny, your fate, whatever it is that's coming forward on your path, it's not for you to do on your lonesome. There are decisions that you're going to have to make yourself, of course, but there are people around you who want to support you and be there for you, to provide warmth and comfort and really, be witness, I suppose, to the fire that's in you, that drives you forward. It's not something that is unusual or strange or something that needs to be hidden away. It's something that can be seen and shown, and people are wanting to see it. The greatest thing about having a community and having friends and having people that, even if you don't know if you can call them friends, but they're around you and you have a shared interest, like, most people want to support each other and be there for each other, and you don't have to worry about so much of other people interrupting your ability to go on the path you want to. You can trust in your capabilities and yourself, your gods, and people who matter most in how they influence your path, rather than thinking that, rather than being basically afraid of returning here, because you're going to be okay in your movements. But yeah, that's your reading, gentle, and hopefully that resonated with you and was some of the clarity you may have been looking for from Hecate. I need to top up my cup. You're welcome. All right. Well, next up is Neppy. Oh, I spilled some water on my mat. Better get a tissue. Hi, Sika. Oh yes, the hydrate. Oh, and Armin, hello. How's your tarot going with your deck? Alright. I have drank my waters. I see you, Neppy, I see you. So, Hecate Oracle. We need the MTG. We've got a Haniel moment. We'll put laying Haniel on our head. There's your Haniel moment. You were getting the messages that need to be heard. Oh, that's so amazing. Great job. Okay, let's watch one for each of them. Did you just want one for each of them, or did you have a main request as well, Nappy? Yeah, no, that's a good idea. You can stack onto your thing. Trying to set clear intentions and trying to set a routine. Amazing. So your oracle card from Hecate is Primordial Origins. Could be a good time to get back to your roots or return to something. Could also be related to her origins and researching them in a specific way. So something, it doesn't have to be like what you always hear about or what's most common, but something that intrigues you, possibly something there for you to look into. Oh, origins could also reference her genealogy, or no, more like, I guess, around cosmologies. Basically the family tree of her is what I'm meaning to say. So gods that she originates from could be a good thing to look into. We'll do one for Apollon. Okay. Turning to stone. Basilisk. I don't actually remember what this card represents. Let's take a look at the guidebook. The basilisk represents the most challenging elements of your inner life, the ones that fear change and cling to a set of dogma. Stay flexible and flowing like water. Don't let your thoughts and emotions harden into stone. That's a nice one. And then we've got Hermes. Generosity. Helioid. I'll just read the guidebook one for this too. Because typically I don't interpret the cards, but I was a little sneaky this time. The sun gives its energy and warmth to everyone equally without asking for anything in return, because all the reward and the joy are in expressing its nature. Let your light shine brightly for all to see, and know that your love cannot be exhausted. Ah, nice. Those are your oracle pulls. Would you like to tell me your main request? You're a lion, have no question, but you have a guide. So you've gotten the Nine of Swords from Apollon and Hecate. Yesterday Apollon, today Hecate. You're not sure if they want to elaborate or had something to say about it specifically. Okay. We can look into it. Just thinking who would like to elaborate on it today. Is queue still open? Yeah. It's still open. You can join it. I'll close it after you and we'll see how we go. Cool. We'll lock that up. Alright. Let's see from Hecate what she would like to say regarding your Nine of Swords. We'll also pull from the tarot. We'll do tarot and oracle. Ooh, that's cool. Watch streak. I didn't know that was a thing. Gonna say, so I was shuffling the cards and I was like, it'd be really funny if the Nine of Swords came out, and then she replied to me, but it wouldn't be very productive because it wouldn't tell you anything about the Nine of Swords. And I was like, that's true. But she didn't give me the Nine of Swords, so no worries about that. Got the Eight of Wands, the Hanged Man, Queen of Cups. Okay, so review once again. We have the Eight of Wands here, the Hanged Man, the Queen of Cups. We have the Mysteries, Initiation, and we also have Brimo, the Angry One, Fury. So there's something about expression here, like emotions being felt and expressed, especially in Fury and the Queen of Cups, and also like the Hanged Man, in the way that it can really reflect the sense of like being stuck or hanging yourself in a way that doesn't let you get down, or like, you know, the saying of like something about a thread, like you're on your last, no, that's not right. Hanging on by a thread. There you go. That's the phrase. She's saying that, like it's hanging on by a thread. It's not something that's like really like hugely deep or serious. Like it's not like a big life-changing thing and you're suppressing yourself. That's what I'm gathering, but it does feel like she and Apollon and your gods care a lot about how you express emotion. And not just like waiting for a single peak moment to express, and how being in tune with how you feel is all part of the experience, is what she's saying. So it's like to use spirituality as like a reference, right? Like spirituality is more than just doing things according to how you identify. So it's like, it's more than just doing the actions of being a Hellenic polytheist. It's more than doing the actions of being a pagan or worshipping a certain deity. It's also about your engagement with the world and how you interact with the world. And sometimes that is like hidden and therefore, you know, mysteries. So the mysteries are, in this context, ways, like how I define the mysteries is like a set of standards, environments, and rites that interact together in how you engage with the divine in a very specific, unique way that isn't necessarily seen by others or realized by others. So a very personal experience. And I see in the Eight of Wands, there's this movement, there's things happening, things are coming together. You know, the Eight of Wands is a very positive card. So it's showing like in the background, things are quite positive, there's movement and there's, you know, passion and growth. But in the background, there may be a bit more to it. And so where we see the Nine of Swords is this very similar feeling of the Hanged Man, where you may feel a bit pinned against the wall or a bit like stuck. And what comes to mind as well is an overstimulated mind or an overthinking mind. So a mind that isn't allowed to calm down and think for itself. You know, you may seek distractions, or you may be thinking about things when you don't really need to be thinking about them, like work. Like you're thinking about work when you're sitting in bed or lying in bed and you don't need to, because, you know, you may think it helps you prepare for certain things, but it could just be a bit more circular. In any case, I think there's something here to explore in terms of expression, emotion, and where I was going with the whole thing I was explaining before is that spirituality and religion is not just about the gods, and it's not just about interacting with spirituality as a thing, like a hobby or like a path. It's also how you are part of the world too. And so in that sentiment, you're allowed to acknowledge your feelings and what you do and how different actions, messages, and just things and moments make you feel. The gods don't control how you feel. They don't determine how you're allowed to feel, what actions you should take. So make sure you continue realizing yourself in a situation rather than pinning yourself to something that doesn't need to be pinned to. And, you know, I always like to associate the Nine of Swords with like things that keep you up at night. So that can relate to a lot of different things here, but letting yourself be in a state where you can release, express, relax, be in tune with things without feeling too held up against something that is more showy or public, or what appears to be on the surface of not really like other people specifically, but just like on the surface of the things you do. Hopefully that will make sense and may make you think now or later about some things you could shift around, because she says that the Nine of Swords represents like a blockage, like a kind of like, you know, in a dungeon, how you can step on a pressure plate and then like swords come out of the wall and they stop you. And it's not like the swords have penetrated you, but they're a clear obstacle that can be cleared away. So she says that she wants to reassure that it's something that can be cleared away. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad it's helpful. Oh, thank you, Leif, for keeping me hydrated. Got my hydration. Alright, we have Nim's turn now. Also, check out my new my rosemary bundle. I love rosemary. We have rosemary out the front. And I haven't had a bundle in ages. I last bought one like it was a few years ago, and I kept it on Hekate's altar like forever because it was an offering to her, and then I started burning it. Maybe even at the start of last year I started burning it. But yeah, rosemary is a very nice herb to burn. Alright, if Apollo has anything he's trying to say to you, you don't work with him, and so it might be nothing at all. Okay. Let's see. I'm just gonna put this deck away. Put this one away too for now. Alright, there we go. Let's get our cards out. This is our Dungeons and Dragons tarot deck. yeah? That's funny. Well, we got the devil. So I'm taking that as meaning misjudged signs or misinterpreted signs. Perhaps the wrong deity. Got the star. So it could still be related to stars, sun, light. Would also be really funny if it was like Artemis, because this card is like a woman with a bow. But I don't know what kind of signs you're getting, so yeah. Knight of Intelligence. So I also find it cute. There's a bit of a sun here. So he's not saying like, oh, no worries, Nappy. Have a good sleep. Yeah, so this is his vote of confidence to you. He's saying you can do it because, you know, it's not like bad feels that it's not him, but he definitely has hope and belief in what you've got ahead of you. Larger male, lots of sun and songbirds. Wow. That's okay. Sorry it was so short, but I guess it was like he was just concise with it. Momo, hey. It's been a while. Alright, we have Vivi next. Caleb, hello. Welcome to the stream. I did see you followed not too long ago, so it's great to see you here. Just opening the queue up again. If Momo and Caleb, if you two want to join the queue, you can join by doing the join command up there. It's for free, but donations and tips are greatly appreciated and help support the stream and my free readings that I do each week. So yeah, if you have the means, feel free. And I was just saying before, I do a discount for Twitch viewers, so you just do !discount and it'll come up with the link for 15% off any of my readings on Ko-fi. And Momo, I'm doing good, thank you. I'm still on break from uni. I start uni again in a couple weeks. It'll be the start of my year because Australian calendar. And yeah, hopefully it'll be good because it'll be my last year of my masters. So yeah, for now I'm good. I'm chilling, doing things during my days. How are you doing? Right, a message from Odin, which is cool because we have the deck out that he prefers to use. We'll see if he has anything he wants to say. And it's great that you followed so then you can get the stream notification. That's a very handy way to get them. I think it's the only way to get them. But yeah, that's awesome. Oh, Luca. I hope I didn't miss a message from you earlier. Oh wait, you're the one who redeemed the Haniel moment, right? Yes, yes. I just noticed, I think because there's other names on my screen where there's like they're purple, so they get mixed up a little bit. But yeah, hey. Alright, let's do this message from Odin for Vivi. Alright, so we've got 4 cards here. Judgment, Death, Two of Charisma, and Queen of Strength. I'll lift my mat up. Ooh, cards. Working on coding a game. That's awesome. Best of luck with that. Alright, so Vivi. Sounds frustrating. No, I was just being silly. These cards are cool. They're good cards. I'll just do an overview again. This Judgment, very shiny, cool card. Death card. Two of Charisma card. And Queen of Strength card. So in all of this, he is acknowledging all of the different changes that are happening in your life, right? Even just these two first cards represent two different types of change. No worries, Momo. If you fall asleep, all good. Have good sleep. Because Judgment, we see here this sort of rising up from the light, rising up to something as well, rising up to the occasion, to a duty, to a role, to a commitment. Could be studies, could be a job, could be a project, could be devotional based. Something that you are really stepping into. Death as well represents the change that happens around you, the stuff that you may not necessarily control. So I see I see like a duality where Judgment is your intentional conscious movement and death is what's happening around you, the transitions that are happening, the releasing that's happening, the things that are coming into your life without necessarily your exact action. So a lot of things happening and going on and moving. He wants to acknowledge that here, especially since you said that it's been a while since you divined or divinated with him. I think this is one of his ways of comforting, is sort of like pointing out what he sees. So he kind of said kind of got the words just now like all seeing, all father, which I found a bit funny. But he sees where you're at and all that you're trying to balance, because Two of Charisma here is similar to the Two of Pentacles, and it's that sense of balancing things. And you know, we have this woman here reading her book and she zaps this little devil looking guy at the top here, but she's content, she's smiling, she's reading. So he knows that, you know, things come your way and you're trying to balance things out, but you've also got a handle on things. So he also wants to acknowledge that, especially in the Queen of Strength here. These cards work together to, well, this card bridges what's said here into this card. The balancing act you're doing, the things that you're managing. But it's like, it's second nature as well, like the way that you handle any conflicts or things you need solutions to, any little minor moments that are not smooth sailing, but things that, you know, are manageable for you. Have a good nap, Nim. Queen of Strength is a very beautiful card here. It's the Queen of Wands. We have her fire. We have her like magical staff. She's on this staircase. You know, she's got that regal gown. She has that look about her, and it's amazing. It's strong. You know, Queen of Strength, of course, but Queen of Wands is about these passions, this fire, but also being able to balance out passion and change and renewal with your own values, the things you stand in proudly. She knows her place in the best of ways. She knows what she cares about. She's putting into the things that matter to her. If you're worried at all about, you know, if he is saying like, oh, I can't believe you haven't been doing readings with me, or, you know, come back or else, or anything like that, right? Or like, you know, this is something I'm calling you out on. This reading is not that. This reading is actually quite acknowledging its recognition for you. He wants to empower you in the things you do rather than restrict you because of his presence, right? He doesn't want you to feel restricted by his presence, whether or not you are, how active you are, how inactive you are, if you're active for a bit and then not active for a bit, if you're actually active right now but you're a bit nervous to dive into things because you might think that you might not have the capacity for it. He thinks you've got it, like you've got a handle on it, and how you go about things is, you know, for one, there's only so many things in your control, but also he doesn't stand to have an issue with it right now, so you're all good. That's your reading from Odin. Hopefully that is helpful or gives you some insights into what he's thinking. Welcome into the stream, a sleep musician, or a sleep musician. So I kind of separated two words there. Hopefully you're doing well today. You're welcome, Vivi. What a nice message. A strong message too. Strong message for a strong person. Thank you, Odin, for that one. Alright, B, you're up. Also, for anyone who has joined the queue or joined the stream and you haven't gotten a reading from me before, please make sure you read my rules and boundaries in the About section of my channel, or you can do I think you can do ! rules and it should come up with a link. I think I set that up. But please be familiar with them, as there are certain things I don't wish to read about, or I'm just not the right person for some things. And there are specialties that I do have. So yeah, could be a good thing while you wait. Thank you, Lei, for sending that in the chat. And yeah, we'll wait for B's request before we continue onwards. Oh yes, thank you for the hydrate claims. Hydration. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Do you do readings as well, a sleep musician? Ah, oh good. Just wondering. It's the kind of thing I feel like I would hear from someone else who does like readings. But it makes sense like to hear it from anyone as well, and much appreciated. B, are you here? I am doing well, thank you, Caleb. It's currently 12:27 a.m. for me, so I've had my day. And it was a good day. I went to the city, which is a train ride away, had some nice lunch at my favorite cafe. First cafe I ever have become a regular at, because at least 2 waiters, or a waitress and a waiter, recognized me, so that's a pretty good achievement in my books. Then I met up with a friend who I'm hosting a Hecate workshop with actually next month. So if anyone's Melbourne based or based in Naarm in Australia, then you can get in on that if you want. But yeah, we were doing some planning for our workshop, and then came back to my side of town, picked up my new glasses. So I got some new glasses, and then I did some driving, because I'm actually learning how to drive, guys. I don't know how to drive. I take public transport most of the time because my university and my work is typically in the city. So I just take the train, but my goal this year to learn how to drive and get, kind of move away from my anxieties around being on the road. So that's a lot of the things I did today. 2 years. Oh, that's not bad though, I feel like. You do want to learn it. There's a book you wanted to read, but the internet doesn't have an authentic copy. Oh, awesome. Wow, we have so many drivers who are learner drivers in the chat, which is awesome. Lei, can you do me a favor and do the rotate command? I think we'll just rotate the queue for now and then we'll wait for B. Oh, never mind. I take it back. Don't do the rotate command. B's here. Do you have the title for the book, A Sleep Musician? Maybe we can have a look if someone else can find a sneaky copy, or maybe suggest a book that is similar. We have a few people in the chat who have divination as something they do a lot. Oh, okay. No worries. We'll just move forward in the queue. Ah, okay. That seems like a book I would not know where to source. Alright, Luca's turn. Well, if you wanted to do like Archangel stuff, you can also get like decks that are related. I have this Archangel Raphael one, Archangel Gabriel, Angels for the Mother Mystic, Angel Tarot. I think that's all the angel decks I have. I have one more, but it's like on the shelf. I don't use it that much because I don't really like the imagery. Okay. Message from whoever pops up. Oops. Can you remind me who is on your deity wheel? Because it's been a little while and I don't know if anything's changed or if there's been any new updates or developments is the word I was trying to get to. Hecate, Melinoe, Artemis, and Athena. Oh yes, what a great quartet. I was gonna say triad, but that's not correct because there's 4 of them. Ooh, another large bookshelf and you can put the decks on them. Ooh, that's so cool. Oops, didn't mean to do that for my PNG tuber. Do you have a, like, what it's called? Like, I guess if you got it from IKEA or some similar place, it might have a name, but all good if not as well, or you don't want to share. We're gonna go Hecate for you, Luca. Getting a new furniture like that is always such a cool thing, I feel like. And I myself haven't owned a lot of like furniture in my life, but you know, it builds up over time. And I love all the bits I have, including very much my bookshelves, which I have 2 of them. Yes, altar space. I have an altar to Hecate, or a second altar to Hecate on one of my shelves. My primary one is in the living room. I'm so excited for you. When is it coming? Right, a message from Hecate for Luca. Oh, we got the mysteries again. It's an oracle card. Soitera, salvation. The Hierophant. And we also have the 2 of Wands. Next Wednesday. Yay! You're getting it on Hermes Day, so it should be a good delivery, hopefully. You have Hecate on your main household altar space and then small separate ones for chthonic aspects and deities. That is so fair and very cool. Okay. So to go over our cards that we have for you, the mysteries, initiation. We have new moon, beginnings. We have Soitera, Savior, Salvation. We have the Hierophant. And we also have the 2 of Wands. So we have a lot of planning energy here right now. You know, initiations and beginnings. They're very like, they're 2 sides of the same coin, right? Because the mystery is an initiation. And initiation is like entering into something, and then new moon, beginnings. We also have the 2 of Wands here, which is all about planning and considering your next steps and where you want to go, and considering your passions and your areas of growth that you want to see. This may be something related to institution, tradition, pathway of such because of the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is sort of like the pillars of an institution, a pillars of a tradition, a pillars of a practice that you acknowledge. It's not a negative thing to be traditional in some ways, or to sort of be within institution such as schools or a workplace. There's a lot of nuance to that, but it's something that she felt like needed to be addressed. If you're currently experiencing a transition between that's I guess that's the sentence itself, right? Like it may be a pause or a break, such as like semesters moving. It could be a transition of like subjects, degrees, majors, transition of role, title, job, duties, things like that. Definitely energy of like being in a break and then looking ahead at what's coming. She's coming forward as a deity who wants to help you on this thing, on something specifically that you may be pondering about, also considering. This a change or a shift or a beginning that's happening. Once again, with initiation needing to step into something as well. I get the sense this is something that you may usually ask Athena about, and she's saying that she can assist on this as well. So sort of like she has a wide scope that can apply here. You'll just need to find, like, you can find the connections. And it goes back to what I was saying about like initiation of mysteries, is that our experiences with our deities are very personal at the same time as communal. And those personal aspects is something that you can look into, how her as a goddess isn't necessarily confined to a single like domain or like thing or part of your life or practice, but how all your gods or all your deities and goddesses can interact in ways that assist each other. And Hecate is known as a helper as well. So even in Hesiod's Theogony, we see she is a helper of Poseidon, a helper of Hermes, a helper of Zeus. You know, she helps and brings assistance a lot, almost like the savior coming in to determine things. And she doesn't lose herself in that. Like, her personality isn't lost, especially in the wording of like she does what she wills. You know, she can increase the livestock on a farm. She can increase or decrease that. She can increase or decrease the haul of fishermen, stuff like that. So in any case, she recognizes that there's some sort of transition, initiation, or beginning that's happening for you. Something that's very clear, so it's not hidden. I would say, like, in the sense of sometimes we don't realize we're transitioning. This is something that like you're very much aware of, and she's wanting to offer her assistance on this and wants you to explore some of the things I mentioned here in regards to her role and how she plays a part in your practice. Hopefully that resonates and makes sense for you. That is awesome. I love it when people are confident about what it's about, because our brains are different, or they're literally completely different. So there's things that you will know much more than I do about yourself because you're you. And that's a positive thing. Very happy to hear that it's you have an idea of what it's about. And thank you for the compliment. It's good to hear from you. Alright, we have Seeker up next. Please let me know what you'd like for your reading. I'm going to hydrate. Even though no one claimed that, I'm going to hydrate anyway. Did you want to join the queue, Lay? Because I can open it up for you. You're welcome. No worries. Just wanted to offer, or I always want to offer, because that's what the space is for. And it's good to hear that there's nothing pressing to inquire about as well, I think. Do we have Seeker here? Oh my goodness. Which one? Which one, if you want to share? I think we'll just give it another minute and we'll do a rotate of the queue if Seeker is not present right now. Very cool. I have that one. Or both of them. I have definitely the Divine and I have the Foundations. So that's pretty epic. Alright. Lei, could you do the rotate command for me, please? Thank you. Alright, we have Caleb up now. Let me know what you'd like for your reading. Oh, Seeker, you appeared right after we rotate the queue. You're still on the queue if you want to wait, but you have to be here for when it is time. Okay, no worries. Thank you for your patience. Okay, Aries. Awesome. This would be a good time for No Name to appear if he was around, but not sure if he is. Let's see, which deck would we like to use? We'll go with the D&D. It's over here. Oh, that's awesome. I've just hydrated. Thank you, Lei. Alright, General check-in from Aries. Oh, that one slid on my arm. Okay. One second. All right. So we have the 6 of Charisma. We have the 5 of Strength. The Wheel of Fortune. And also the 9 of Wisdom. Cool. So what I'm getting right away is that he is needing you to be a little bit more strict in terms of fairness when it comes to how much you give in return of compared to how much you get in return. There seems to be a sense that there might be a bit of imbalance, maybe even a bit of exploitation. Doesn't have to be too heavy of a word used here, but essentially when someone is taking you for granted, for example, and then you're maybe letting it happen because perhaps you don't want to think that someone else could be taking advantage of you. You don't want to think that someone is capable of doing that as well, if it's someone who if it's people who matter to you or you care about. But it is just a natural thing to keep tabs on sometimes that he would like you to be a little more aware of at this time. He feels like there is a group dynamic where it's not quite like you're the butt of the jokes, but it's more like you want to feel safe and comfortable in the groups and the environments you're in. No worries, Vivi. Thanks for coming by. And yes, so back on this. It's not like a detrimental thing of here's something really urgent you need to address. It's more of a I'm tapping you on the shoulder about this. Just remember this, because we also have the Wheel of Fortune and the 9 of Wisdom here, which are really auspicious cards, really good cards, where in terms of a general check-in, he's affirming that things are moving in the right direction, things are moving in your favor. There's background work going on as well for you that you may not necessarily know about, but it's working and it's going for you. Sort of the idea of windfalls, that's not just monetarily, but opportunity-wise, things that are tangible and not tangible, emotionally. I hear something about getting a break, so maybe you've been working hard on something and then you're waiting for the right time to take a break on it. That time is coming up soon. Could also imply just an actual break that's happening, whether that's for work, school, or the environment that you find yourself in. 9 of Wisdom as well is a lot around wish fulfillment and things that are, happening because of your achievements and hard work. We have this adventurer here who's leaning back on their chair, feet up, coins, food, and drink in hand. So you're taken care of and provided for, and he's sort of not to be cliche, but the warrior spirit. And part of the warrior spirit is being able to enjoy the fruits of your labor and the gifts you get and the benefits you are allowed because of the hard work you've put behind things, and how you've gotten to this point, or to the point of being able to sit back and enjoy. Not everything is about being alert at all times, and you don't need to continuously prove yourself to make use of the gifts that you are receiving. Yeah, I get a bit of that implication from this card here. We have this depiction of these three magic users kind of doing workings on this skull, and it has, you can see like a little bit of this spiky barrier around it. Can be a bit of a representation of you doing some protection workings, however that may look for you in your practice. And yeah, this image is like that, just for a closer look. But yeah, he's saying be conscious of your boundaries, be a little more cautious about who you're giving yourself to, but also on the grand scheme of things, you don't have to worry so much. You know, things are working out in your favor, they're moving in the right direction. Allow yourself to indulge in the things that you earned. That's his yeah, that's his message for you. Ooh, dark/grey tea. Awesome. This could also be a good indication that your protection working is working in your favor. Like, could be a good nod towards that for you. Yeah, that concludes the reading. Hopefully you liked it. Oh no, you're out of grey tea. Hopefully you have some other tea. Oh yes, nettle tea. We have a sleep musician up next. Please let me know what you'd like for your reading and we'll get into it. Do, 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 do. So I'll need you to have a look at my rules for readings, because there's a few boundaries crossed in terms of those questions where I don't do love readings, I don't do future telling, I also don't do readings that are involved in what you'd call mind reading of third parties. So it's not quite aligned with things, the type of messages I do. Or, yeah, the messages I do. So you could ask something else that might align a bit better with my boundaries. Message. Could you clarify what you mean? I'm not quite sure I understand. Okay, I understand what you mean. General message. You can choose one or the other for in terms of area. Get the Rider-Waite out. Oh wow, that's a lot of cards. I didn't realize there were so many cards out. That's okay. Okay. So. It's alright. I don't usually read cards in reverse anyway, unless I feel like it's really significant. So sometimes they just come out reversed due to the way I shuffle them. But your first 3 cards are really cool. Well, a lot of them are really good, but particularly these first 3 are quite significant, where we have the Ace of Swords, new opportunities, fresh communication, messages coming through, hearing good news. We have the Fool, so taking the leap of faith, new beginnings as well. Once again, lots of new beginnings happening in a positive direction. Temperance is your card of moderation. So what I'm already hearing so far is that with all the good things that are going to be coming through, with all like communication that's happening, with the new things you're going to be trying out in this area of your life, it's always important to practice moderation. So you don't have to go extreme, like black and white, yes or no. Is this good? Is this bad? It's not as easy as that a lot of the time. That like the advice that's coming through here is to be balanced, to be a bit more in the flow of things. You can't prescribe an exact answer to a complete other human being, right? In relationships of any type, there's always another person involved, or even multiple people involved, and they all have their own lives, values, experiences, dreams, things they don't like, things they do like, all of these things. And so I think it's important to remember how everyone has a part, in this. We see this as well in this 5 of Wands. How everyone tries to have a part, everyone tries to have a voice. Everyone wants everyone wants to be heard, but not just by voice, by the heart. They want their heart to be heard. They want their feelings to be heard and understood. And it might not always turn out in the right way, but the thing that you can do to head into this direction of more clarity and balance is to be more moderate with yourself. So don't try to assume things that are too extreme or really presumptuous. You don't need to make too many assumptions. Be open to what's coming through. Knight of Cups as well is a pretty good card for the area of love because it's a card of heralding feelings, movement in feelings and love and emotion. It's also about having a good idea of how your emotions are moving. So rather than trying to learn about what other people are feeling, trying to discern or control what other people are feeling, tune more into yourself and understanding yourself. Because the more you make strides towards understanding your emotions and your thought process, the more that you will be better at interacting with other people when it comes to dynamics, any sort of love dynamic. Queen of Pentacles. This card acknowledges your ability to provide, to be a carer, to be a nurturer, as well as someone who maintains a position that is, quite authoritative as well. So it seems like you're a skilled person, someone who knows what to do in certain situations. Maybe you have a specialty in work or study that you're exploring at the moment. I get the impression that you shouldn't compromise on these things. Like if there are very important earthly material things that matter to you, obviously don't be moderate. Don't go like too far in terms of what you prioritize, but also don't discount yourself. Don't minimize yourself just because of other things that may come in the way, which, it's a bit of a strong thing to say, but make sure you hear yourself before you try to hear everyone else. Be open to listening to others, but it's no use trying to make a choice or make a decision from there, aka from this card, if you're not valuing yourself. Nine of Swords. Don't overthink yourself into the ground. Don't keep yourself up at night. Don't create situations or make up a version of people around you who are going to make you upset or sad. Return to the idea of being grounded and who's actually in front of you, who the human being across from you is when you're trying to talk with them. Because when you're by yourself trying to figure things out in a sort of spiral, it's not going to get you anywhere compared to, something a bit more interactive than that. If we take a look at cards like the Six of Cups, if we take a look at the cards like, let's see here, the Three of Cups, the Two of Cups, all of these really positive, harmonious cards. There's other people involved. You're learning from other people, interacting with them. It's not just people being separated. We have 2 children together, 3 friends together, a couple together, these students and mentors, families. It's like they all have other people that they're interacting with. They're not on their lonesome. So don't isolate yourself from the reality of the people around you, because they're people, and there is love to be provided to you should you be open to dynamics, not just being the head of the operation, so to say. And that's your reading for today. You're welcome. Best of luck with things going forward as well. Looks like a lot of good. Yeah. Hydration, important. Let's drink it up. And by drink it up, I mean water. Love it, Seeker. You're on it. Between Hestia or Hermes? Hestia or Hermes? I'm gonna go with Hestia. Yeah, I don't know if I've done a reading with Hestia on stream before. So this will be fun. We'll do a Hestia reading. Hermes is always up for it, but Hestia is the one who's going to come up first here. Or who has come up first here. That's what I need to say. Okay. So just now I felt a tingling around the crown of my head. So around like, it's as if there was like, if you think of like a bandana wrapped around your head, it was kind of like that, where I felt it go around. And then there was a warmth that settled at my forehead. I get this image of you sitting in front of like a flame or something that represents a hearth. So I don't know if you have a fireplace. It's pretty rare these days, but it's like you sitting in front of the glow of a fireplace or a flame, a candle, something burning. You do. That's cool. That's awesome, actually. I have one, but like I'm not allowed to use it. I think it's like an electronic heater thing. I don't know actually, but all I know is I can't use it. But yeah, I see this image of you in front of a fireplace or hearth, and the warmth is like radiating onto your head and then onto your forehead in particular. And it's sort of like her placing her hand on your forehead, which is a very comforting gesture, because it's the gesture that we see or we do when we like test for people having fevers. It's like checking if someone's okay. It's one of the most immediate and physical things we can do to check someone's health and state. Head in the sand. That's a funny one considering we're talking about the head area. Head in the sand. So allow yourself to emerge from being buried. It's very cryptic, but it's sort of like head in the sand as a saying is about ignoring or hiding away from things that are around you. It's a very intentional action because our heads are not typically in the sand, right? So we have to dig out the hole in order for our head to be in the sand. And she's saying, you know, it's time to get up. It's time to dust yourself off and see what's really around you. And you don't have to be scared of seeing what's around you, because she's there, and there's a lot more good to come of things, even if it seems not good at first. We also have the dive right in card, which is kind of funny, because if you think about a beach, you know, head in the sand and then dive right in, it's as if she's saying take your head out of the sand and then run to the water and dive right in. So don't just stay where, you know, you're burying yourself away, where it's really hot and dry. Let yourself get into the water where, you know, water represents, well, in a lot of traditions, life and purification. I think it's funny as well that she brings up water because she represents the hearth fire. It's like water on a fire is not great. But I think that in itself is very poetic in the way that you don't have to be scared, or you don't have to run away from the things that seem like they're going to hurt you or harm you, because you may persist stronger than that. Oh, combinations, which is a card that's relevant to what I'm saying, because this card is about odd combinations, things that don't usually go together but will and still work out. So in that sense of like the fire and the water, some things seem like they won't work out, that they don't go together, but they really do actually, and that you'll be okay to try out new combinations of things. And we have once again a hide and seek or hiding reference in this hide and seek card. It's a figure in a box in their own little world hiding from the camera. But you don't have to hide. And rather you could seek. And what does it mean to seek something out? Is it seeking out other things that are hidden, that you've hidden away yourself, that maybe she's waiting for you to find? It can also be about hidden blessings, messages, lessons that are in the things that are happening around you. It could be that the people, deities, and spirits who are working for you and with you. When I say for you, I don't mean like you're their boss. I mean they're working in your favor, like doing things to help you. Like, you know, you don't always see them. You can't always seek them out, but they're still there. very much a message here of allowing yourself to see things, to be aware of them, to not be hidden, to try to move past them by just ignoring them. You can actually do the opposite and really indulge in the things that you really want to, because even if it seems contradictory, even if it seems a little strange, it's not going to be as strange as you think. And the things that you need to find, you'll find, and the things that you don't necessarily need to find, you don't need to. And there are going to be things that you will not be able to find that are still working in your favor. That's your reading. I think that was very sweet reading from her. And that imagery was quite nice as well that she shared with the fireplace as well. You're welcome. Thank you for your patience again. Thanks for coming to the stream. That does bring us to the end of our queue, which is great because we've been going for almost 2 hours now, so it's a good time for us to end off so I can go to sleepy sleep. It's a bit late for me, and hopefully everyone else can have a good time for the rest of their day, the rest of their night, afternoon, etc. Perhaps we will go raid someone. We don't have that many viewers because I think we had our lovely friends falling asleep as we were going on, which is okay. But yeah, that's all good. I want to say thank you everyone again for coming along to my stream. We stream every week at the same time. Please feel free to tip me at my Ko-fi if you wish, and make use of the discount code that's available for my lovely Twitch community. And yeah, I'll catch you next time. So let's see if there's anyone to raid. I don't think anyone who's in our usual list, but we have a few people who I haven't seen before in the category who are streaming. Let's go take a visit over there to them. We'll visit this person. All right. Catch you next time.